just a fantasy. 'Cause the unknown's pulling me. We could leave this place, freedom ours to chase. What if I escape with you? 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 What if I escape with
in that situation where you just want to, you're supposed to take it off.
Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Success. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Success. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Success. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Success. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress. Success. Take it off. Slow, steady, undress.
Take your motherfucking clothes off. in that situation where you're just like,
Alrighty, boys, what's going on? Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you guys are in this world. Let's get the stream started. Let me know if the background music is too loud. Last week, a lot of people were saying it was a little loud, so let me know. Let's move this over here. Boom. Alrighty. What do you guys think? Sunday scam pump? Are we going to get the futures open scam pump into the weekly close? Kind of what I'm expecting. A lot of weekend positioning, guys. Every time we wipe out OI, every single OI wipeout just leads to fresh positioning. Nature of the market that we're in right now. So even looking at render earlier, this might be the wrong one. Yeah, I posted render yesterday. I was long off these lows here, and then just seeing a slow, steady climb of OI while render just chopped made me take some profits on this one. Probably gonna get back in, but close that position out for the most part, and then happily got one on INJ this morning. Right, here's the trade. Let's open this one up, talk about it for a second, and then we'll get things started. Clean SR, right? Hourly run of the lows into, whoops. Hourly run of triple equal lows into that SR. This happened at the exact same moment that Bitcoin moved into this fair value gap, right? INJ had additional confluence with the weekly VWAPs and the 4-hour trend. You have all that confluence going for you. Easy long trigger. Perfect play earlier today. That was what I woke up to this morning. 10 my time. I had alerts going off for Bitcoin, and I had this play mapped out for INJ. So we started the day the right way. Took it from one side of the VWAPs to the other side. Nice and easy. Yo, Caleb, what's up? Let's see who's in here. A lot of you guys talking. Anrelins, what's up? Shane, Time Maverick, Sagar, I know who you are. Khalil, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up, Richard? Who else is in here? Shiva, what's going on, man? Caleb, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. We got to get you on the stream or on the channel one day. I've been talking to a lot of traders recently in kind of an unnamed podcast. I'm like temporarily calling it The Rounds. Stay on theme, you know. We've had a couple really fucking bomb traders on for a few weeks, and we got a couple more people coming on in the next few weeks. But I'd love to chat with Caleb too, you know, switch things up. All we do is talk about trading on this channel, trading psychology, charts, setups. It would be really cool to get a fresh perspective on someone who's trading TradFi and has the utmost experience in macroeconomics, way more than any of us plebs in crypto, right? So we need to bully Caleb to get on the channel one day. What's up, Abdul? What's up, Sosa? What's going on, guys? So today's agenda for the stream, I thought I would go over some of the trades that I took this past week. This past week was my first week trading pretty much in a month. I traded the end of August, and then I took 6 or 7 trades for the entire month of September. And all of those, I would say, were because of boredom, pretty much, not really into it at all. My screen time was way down. My time online was way down. And then I came back and thought that I could just pick things up and be lazy. And that was kind of the core lesson from the first week of journaling, was the laziness with my entry execution. I was taking a lot of entries, kind of just like, okay, fresh account, good amount of capital in this account because I'm sizing up now, and just playing stuff on the 4 hour instead of really locking it in for entries, and expecting conditions from Q1, Q2, and even like early Q3. And as we can, as we're all on the same page here with BTC, let's go to the high time frame and get on the same time. Let's all get on the same page here. You guys have known my thesis for Bitcoin, why I've been bearish for a long time. We've talked about this hundreds of times, and I know you guys are sick of hearing me say it, but just a recap for anyone who's unaware. I was bullish for this entire year. I got very, very bearish when we got the best news of the year, the ETF, the BlackRock ETF filing. No doubt that's the most bullish news of crypto for the entire year. All we did was weekly SFP it into supply. I was very bearish. I was playing the risk curve, and then we finally broke down and lost our daily 100, daily 200, right? In this environment, I'm looking at it not so much as a trending environment. I'm trying to say that it's more of a range-bound environment. Now, whether we come back up in here or not doesn't matter. The trades that you're going to be finding on altcoins, the trades you're going to be finding across the market are going to be more choppy. You will have a select few altcoins outperforming, playing trends, very strong. But for the most part, what we've seen is just the same cartel coins that are gigapumping, putting in Burges, and not too many narratives. Luckily, we had AVAX this week, and we'll come to talk about AVAX in a little bit because that was my best trade of the week. But yeah, for the most part, there's a range-bound environment, and I traded the first 10 days kind of with the same strategies and setups that I was using for the first like half of this year. Taking 4-hour setups, relying too much on trends that weren't there, being very casual with my entry, and it cost me. I think my first 14 trades, I just pulled 4R. I did a lot of round tripping, a lot of scratching at entries, getting really underwater at entries. So just a very sloppy week for myself starting off. And the key difference and the changing factor through like 4 days or 5 days of journaling was basically I just recognized, I was like, okay, this is the issue. It's the lack of focus, it's the laziness, lack of attention to detail, and the execution. So I locked it in. I started going to the 1 hour. I went back to simple price action techniques, simple liquidity techniques, relied on those more heavily for entries rather than riding the EMAs that I love to trade so much. And instant improvement, just literally instant improvement. So not too many traders talk about, like, from my perspective, having tough times, having tough weeks. You guys have seen me do relatively well compared to other people and exceeding my own expectations this year. And that's not the case right now. I honestly feel like a lot of people are outperforming me right now. And in my opinion, the reason for that is just completely purely mental and psychological, not being locked into the market, not giving it my full attention, sleeping in hours later than I'm used to. If you guys know me, I'm up at 5 a.m. like every morning of this year, sleeping very little, very attentive to markets. And for that first week, I was waking up like 7:30, and I'm California. So New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30 my time. So I was like sleeping through the open of the market, something you can't do, and really gets you out of rhythm with what's going on. So those are the lessons. If you guys have any questions there, I'll definitely elaborate on any of that kind of stuff. If you guys are struggling with things like that as well. And if you have any chart requests, setup requests, want me to look at any coins and stuff like that, I'm happy to do so. But I will just go down some of the altcoins I'm looking at, some of the tweets that I put out this week, and we can elaborate on those things to get started. But yeah, feel free to leave some comments, suggestions for charts, so we can go over that. But how's your guys' Sunday going? Hopefully chill. One guy in the clinic was saying he's watching F1. Didn't know there's F1 going on. I'm more of a tennis guy, so there's a Shanghai Masters going on right now. No one I really was interested in watching today, but tomorrow for sure. All right, I don't see anything in chat, so we're gonna start looking at coins. All right, you guys have heard me talking about Render all year. In my opinion, Render is one of the best trend respecter coins in the market. I absolutely love trading Render. you guys can just see, even in this chop, how well it's respecting 4-hour EMAs. And you guys know my system, simple price action with EMAs. I want to be long coins that are always doing this, right? And we're seeing that happen again up here. That's number one that I want to point out. Number two, I was bear posting Render this whole way down. I was bear posting Render this whole way down. Those of you in the clinic know that I got spot long Render down here simply because we sold off back to the origin of the rally, right? This is the origin. This is the demand cluster before it put in all-time highs, before these gigantic moves. So once you've sold off back to that origin, you're looking for trend reversal, you're looking for short covering, you're looking for people to pick up spot once again after distributing. So my thesis here was, let me just pick up some spot, let me look for the bounce and close. And I did just that. I picked up spot at 138. I closed at 165 into this bearish back test, and I bear posted this. I was saying, this is it. You know, we're done here and we're coming all the way back down to range lows. Render's obviously not doing that. And my line in the sand for Render was 172. I said that 172 is my bias point. I'm wrong on the bear thesis if we start accepting above 172. So that's what we did this week. And I didn't participate in any trades on Render during this chop. Because for me, I can't tell. I can't tell if this is going to be bullish, if this is going to be bearish, which way this is going to break. Is this a deviation over 172? Is this a deviation over the daily 100, 200? But once you have this big breakout above, right, continuation, you want to continue playing into that trend. So my bias for this one, coming down to a little bit of a lower time frame, let me clean some of these things up, is going to be simply playing trend continuation. Right? You have equal highs, we have a 4-hour fair value gap, right? And we have 4-hour trend structuring to the upside, as well as like VWAP structuring. You have everything on your side. We've reclaimed yearly VWAP. We've reclaimed last quarter's VWAP. We're trading above 172. We have clear local trends. We have bullish market structure. This looks very good to me for trend continuation. If you're not positioned in this one, the place that I would set stink bids, and I have bids there myself, is right here, this mint box. This is a 4-hour fair value gap within 4-hourly demand at the bottom of the 4-hourly trend, right? So 3 confluences there. If there is going to be kind of like a puke that cleans up some of this weekend positioning, it doesn't have to happen. It definitely doesn't have to happen. But if there is a puke that cleans up some of this weekend positioning, this is where I'll be looking to have those stink bids set for trend continuation upwards. My invalidation for this high time frame target is going to be once, if and when Render starts reaccepting below 172. A strong trend, guys, should never give you the perfect retest. You should always kind of start having a little bit of gap in between, because you have to remember, everyone's kind of eyeing the same targets, right? Everyone's kind of saying, I want to bid this region. They may even have limit bids in the book, right? Advertised to the world, right? So everyone is very intent in getting a position. And I think for that, for Render here, that's going to be like right around 172. So if somehow Render blows through everyone's bids, everyone pulls them, we put in a 4-hourly candle, we start closing back below here, back into this area, I'll be thinking, okay, this is more range bound. This is no longer trending, right? And then, you know, maybe something like this. And then if we get back below 162, I'm looking to play it downwards back to 138. I hope all that makes sense. That's pretty much how I see, you know, everything I described there. If you guys want to remember that, or maybe we'll clip that, that's basically how I view all markets in a nutshell, from low time frame to high time frame. Everything that I just mentioned there is how I make if-then plans for all my coins, everything on my watch list. And then it all comes down to just low time frame execution, right? Once you understand the high time frame picture and understand which side your bias is leading towards, how you know you're wrong on high time frames, that helps you make lower time frame trigger plans. Let me go back to chat for a minute. What's up, KL? Love the BGM background music. Okay, that took me a second. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for figuring BGM, because I was about to ask you what that meant. Do Peep? Oh, Pepe. Yeah, for sure. We'll do Pepe. Can we do RLB, especially after that recent update? Debating if it's a good entry here or we go lower. What do you think about Arb and Sol? I'm nuking my Twitter follower account this Sunday. Do you mean you're gonna unfollow a bunch of people? Yeah, there's a lot of noise on CT, Shiva. There's tons of noise. You guys can see my follower list is 180. I used to have like 250. Then I decided I need to keep it under 200. And even then, when I scroll through my feed, I see people that I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this person. It's probably a good follow for some people. Unfollowing people is not, I'm not doing it in an insulting manner. I'm not saying like, I'm unfriending them or not friends with them. But for me, it's just, the algorithm feeds you everything that you engage with. So it's good to remove a bunch of noise. And I continuously monitor who I'm following and unfollow people who I find to be more noisy. People that just love to shitpost all day. Yeah, Twitter is funny. Definitely time for shitposting, but we do a lot of that in Discord anyways. I don't need to go to Twitter and see shitposting all day. Yo, Aldi, thoughts on TRB? I'm going to give you the TLDR on TRB. The TLDR is that this is a cartel coin. This is a PvP coin. I generally speaking, don't trade the cartel coins ever. I've taken maybe 2 or 3 trades on cartel coins this year. I think they rely heavily on flow. And if you're not good at reading flow, which I'm not, I can read flow. I can understand how positioning is occurring. I can understand who's leading the markets, but I can't use it actionably very well. And if I can't use something actionably very well, even if I understand it, I'm going to say, let me just avoid that. I know there's tons of opportunity on TRB, but that's a TLDR. I'll do the chart in a little bit. We're going to go in order. What's up, Matt Barr? The power of the mute button. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I have a lot of people muted. It's kind of funny sometimes when I will click on a tweet and I see the comments and it'll be like, this tweet is from someone you blocked. This tweet is from someone you muted. And I always have this curiosity. I'm like, let me see who I muted. Even though I muted them for a reason, I'll click the view button anyways, just to be like, well, do they still deserve to be muted? And most of the time, yeah, they do. How do you got those indicators? So a lot of my indicators, any ones that you see that start with the clinic, they are simple EMAs. They're something that you can get from TradingView. You can type in EMAs, right? Moving, average, exponential, and you can get these from TradingView. If you want the ones that I have, they're just custom built. They're custom built and custom named and custom colors or whatever. You can get those by going into the Discord, into the clinic. There's a channel for them in there. And then the Paragon group ones are from Magus and Charlie's Discord, the Paragon. If you guys don't know the Paragon, definitely go check it out. Probably the best educational resource in crypto, in my opinion. At least the ones that I've seen. I know Adam has really good stuff, but as far as the Discord goes, I think Paragon is very elite. And then the rest of them you can just get from TradingView. What up, Zed? What up, Arun? Can you do Unibot? Yeah, I'll do Unibot. Hey, can we get a Destiny doc chart? Oh my goodness. Gavison Studios. What up, Pliskin? What up, brother? I don't even know what to pull up for that. Bro, what season are we in? I think we're down only until Lightfall. Is it? No, it's not Lightfall. What's the next one called now? Next year's big expansion. We're down only till then. That's the Destiny doc chart. Destiny is trending down against doc for the next 6 months. There might be a reversal next year though. We'll see. What's up, Andrew? All right, caught up with chat. Let's start with some of these requests. Let's do Pepe. Okay. Pepe, very simple for me. I have very, very simple plans for Pepe. There is almost no liquidity in Pepe, guys. Like, look at these 15-minute candles. right? This is not a coin you want to trade anymore. Like if you like, I don't have size. I don't have size at all compared to people on CT. I could move this chart the way this is looking. These are 15-minute candles. Like that's atrocious. So no one is positioning in Pepe. I wouldn't even suggest taking trades on Pepe at this point. You're just going to eat a lot of funding. Price could just do nothing for a very long time. Like one thing that you see after nukes like this in a lot of coins is reflexive, like short covering rallies, right? That create lower highs that you can short into. Pepe didn't even have that. It literally just puked and bled, right? So, that's to tell you how much interest there is in Pepe from a trader's perspective. And then what it's going to do that's going to cause you to FOMO is like one day it's just going to put in a candle like this, right? And you're not going to have any trigger to get into any of this. And then you're forced to play the trend continuation, right? I would much prefer playing Pepe that way from a trader's perspective versus trying to position anything in here on perps. Now, all of that is spoken from a perp standpoint, not a spot standpoint. Let's come to what I think about Pepe spot. This is the picture. This is the clear picture on Pepe. There's your mid range, there's your range high, there's your range low. We're trading below range low, and I put out a tweet on Pepe somewhere in this area, and I was like, we're approaching range low. I don't know if we're going to front run. I don't know if we're going to deviate reclaim. I don't know if we're going to go below, and I don't know if we're going to range down here. All I know is that opportunity is coming, right? And what I mean by opportunity is from a spot accumulation standpoint. Is this the Pico bottom? No. Am I positioning and buying spot into this? No. I'm going to buy spot in two ways. Either you puke even one further leg and then I'll accumulate, or you reclaim this area. And when you reclaim, I want to see the daily 100. The daily 200 isn't even formed yet. There's not even enough data for 200 days, right? I want to see, let's say this comes down, this continues ranging, we get back inside this range. Now I'm looking at this entire thing as a deviation, and I'm looking to play it all the way back to range high. And what I'm going to do is play this from spot. This is a massive range. From 8 to 21 is a massive range. You can take numerous perp positions and perp trades in between that, but to capture the bulk and the meat of this move, I would suggest, not financial advice or anything, but I think it's smart to just play it from a spot trade perspective. So you don't, continuously force yourself to, get stopped out of positions, trade around, more experienced traders, or even if you want to do that yourself in addition, you can do that in addition. But from a spot perspective, this is kind of how I see Pepe. And if you guys don't know, my thesis on Pepe is that in 2025, not 2024, in 2025, Pepe will flip Shiba Inu. Now, whether that is a forever flip or a one-day flip, all I know is that a massive rally, and I say no because I have strong conviction on this one. And that's subject to change. Obviously, I can change my opinions with time, but as of today, that's how I strongly feel, and that's how I'm going to trade this. I'm going to trade this kind of like a zero or hero trade, being a meme coin trade to flip Shiba Inu's market cap. So I think higher highs are coming. I don't think this is the all-time high on Shiba. I definitely think this is just going to keep accumulating. Maybe it gets back in this range, but in 2025, it's going to do some crazy shit. So definitely keep your eye on Pepe. Don't think that it's going to zero. It's not going to zero. It's a top 100 coin. Top 100 coins generally stay floating around in the top 100, even if they die, even if they do nothing. Look, scroll through the top 100 list on CryptoRank.io. You'll see tons of coins there that's just been there forever. Dinosaur coins, So yeah, that's Pepe. What do you think about Arb and Sol? Yeah, the final shape. Yep, final shape. Hopefully by the news event. I agree, brother. What's up, Fayaz? What's up, James? All right, Arb and Sol. Let's do Arb. Wow. First things first, let me show you what this looks like on a 3-day perspective. Not cute. you would want, like, what you wanted on this move up here was to see a buyer of second order, right? You wanted to see a buyer of second order come in and defend price on this reclaim, right? And that didn't occur. So what that's telling me is either we have to actually make even lower lows, or we have to see a buyer of last resort step in when we reapproach down here. There's no structuring on this that I can say is bullish. Like, all VWAPs are pointing down. At best, what you're getting here is an accumulation, right? I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking, what do I think on low time frames? And the reason I always stick to high time frames on coins that I'm not actively trading is because why would you trade an out of favor coin on low time frames when there are stronger coins with better structuring, with easier trades, with more liquidity, like Render, like Solana, like INJ, right? Why wouldn't you trade those versus trading a coin that has been disappointing only, right? What I would want to see from Arbitrum, right, before I get interested, is more accumulation, flipping these, right? The 200 will form eventually, whenever 200 days comes, it'll start forming. Flip those, right? Get out of this range, and then it's fireworks. Then it's probably all-time highs, right? Until that happens, right? Stick to just fading extremities. There are no trends to play on this one, and trend trading is my strength now. I'd say, it was actually, it's funny. Trend trading was my absolute weakness last year, and now it's my overwhelming strength. So those are my thoughts on Arbitrum. If you're going to trade this one, definitely stick to very low time frames and be an extremity fader. That's what I would say on Arbitrum. Don't be a dip buyer, be an extremity fader. If you're going to be a dip buyer, buy dips on coins with bullish market structure that are in favor, that have narratives, etc. So those are my thoughts on ARB. What I just said there on ARB is going to carry for many, many coins. Anything that looks like that from a high time frame perspective, I'm generally going to have the almost exact same outlook on it. Don't I have a Solana chart marked up? Yep. Solana. Yeah, man, this has been an absolute bronco. So one thing I want to point out from high time frame before we come into lower is that Solana has led a lot of market rallies this year and then just proceeds to do fuck all. Right? Look at what it did. Monster move. And I was in this move, right? And I was in this move, and just, in this, I was just holding some spot. I was taking profit on some spot at 25 because it kept getting rejected by the daily 200. And it was just disappointing. It's a trading coin, right? And then I got long here, and very, very, very happy with this again, and looked once again for trend continuation. I kept looking for trend continuation. That didn't come. So it just did fuck all once again. Now I'm kind of thinking, will Solana go 3 for 3? Will it do that market leading move, right? And as we're all looking for trend continuation, will it just continue to do fuck all, right? And just disappoint us? That's yet to be seen, but just something to be aware of on high time frame, because it has done that. So you should definitely be aware of that. Coming to more like localized price action, very clean range, right? You can take your range high and range low however you want. You can take it all the way up here and all the way down here. What matters most is does your mid-range fit price action, right? And it does, right? This will fit, this will fit, this will fit. So generalized, idea is we're just saying this is EQ, this is equal value, this is at value or the point of control of a larger range, right? So you have to understand where you are in the overall chart. You are diddle in the middle. You are kind of at mid-range. You're not really trading the extremities. You're not fading a high. You're not buying a dip. You are absolutely at equal value that Solana has presented in 2023. So what's the bias on this one? If I want to make a bias, I want to say that this level right here, 22, was very, very important. This was your original point of breakdown, right? On the SEC news, on the delisting Coinbase news, on a lot of bad news, right? Which was reclaimed and absolutely sent. I wanted to see this hold in this area. If you guys remember, I was taking a lot of longs on Solana. Long skim profits round trip, long skim profits round trip. again and again because I was looking for monster move continuation to the upside. Deviated the lows, broke down, found demand, and we're back up here. So I'm going to just call a spade, and I'm going to say, I want to look once again. Maybe I'm foolish. Maybe I don't learn my lesson from the first 2 times, but I want to once again look for trend continuation, except this time I'm ready to be disappointed. So my plans on Solana is to continue looking for longs, but be a take profit maxi, which I wasn't in this region. I was a continuation maxi, and I was a round trip maxi, and I was a give profits back maxi. In this region, I want to be a take profit maxi, which is exactly what I was doing. I actually took a trade on Solana this week. Let me see if I can find the exact same one. Yeah, it was right here. Okay, so we have, I'm going to start with a 4-hour and explain why I was taking this trade. 4-hour trend, right? I want to look to defend the 4-hour trend after that reclaim into 4-hour demand, right? Those are the point of interest. I want to look for longs in this area. I came down to the 1-hour. I found an hourly breaker. This block right here. Wait, excuse me. Yeah, this block right here. This is the high, right? That led to the low that took liquidity. I'm using Main's definition because he has the best definition of breakers, right? The high that led to the low that took liquidity. That was a failed bearish order block on the way up and then becomes a bullish breaker. On the way down, I was looking at this point of interest, and like I said, one of the things I cleaned up this week was going to lower timeframes and not just sticking to high timeframes. You see, I have this marked out here. Within that hourly breaker, there was 15-minute demand, right? So I was looking at that. I was looking at that 15-minute demand. What do you get? You get a sweep of a low into 15-minute demand, into the hourly breaker. That's your long trigger. Boom. Clean, easy, long, right? This isn't any hindsight kind of trade. This is exactly the trade that I took this week. Whatever day this was, Thursday, 3 days ago. And this was the back end of the week when I started cleaning up some of those mistakes that I talked about at the top of the stream. If you guys missed the top of the stream, I was talking about the mistakes that I was making after coming back from hiatus. And one of the ones, the biggest mistake that I was making was sticking to higher time frames, looking for more continuation, and not looking to be a take profit maxi on lower time frames. So we cleaned that up. We cleaned up the entry execution. We went right back to basics, and we get rewarded for them. So those are my thoughts on Arbitrum and Solana. I know you're probably thinking, hey, Doc, is this a long or a short right now? This is an absolute chop fest, right, on Solana. Once again, you're going to be wanting to look for trades like this. Low time frame trades, 15-minute, 1-hour trades. Do not expect the moon. Do not overstay your welcome. Be a take profit maxi. Take very, very clean and concise setups. That's really what I want to say. We got to scroll up. So, Khalil, sorry, you said RLB. Yeah, this is one that I'm looking to re-pick up as well. So that's the wrong chart. Does that make sense, guys, on the things that I said for these are not relevant at all anymore. For Solana and Arbitrum, if that makes sense, let me know, guys. I always want to know if how I explain things makes sense to people, because I end up explaining in a lot more detail. That's just how my brain works. I tried, one of my physiology professors, or actually the head of department in physiology when I was in med school, always used this one. He always used to say this saying. He's like, always zoom out and see the entire elephant. Now, I'm not going to draw an elephant for you guys, but I'd even draw animals, dude. Let's do something silly like this, right? He's always like, zoom out, picture the entire elephant before you scope in and start worrying about smaller things. And if you understand physiology, a lot of things are interconnected. We teach, they teach physio as in like organ systems and stuff like that, but they teach physio systematically, but it all goes in together. So same thing I always try to do with charts is take a very high time frame approach, zoom in and have that lead my trades. I give away a lot more stuff for free than other traders, guys, because I honestly don't believe too much in edge decay as far as giving other people, the edge or whatnot. I look at it like, growing up and playing tennis, even if I tell my opponent, something technical with his strokes, ground strokes, or if I say, hey, attack this or that, the other thing, they still have to execute and they still have to perform. I'm not really giving anything away. It's still on the other person to perform, right? So this is just statistics. If there's 99 or if there's 100 people in here and I tell all 100 people you the exact same thing, 99% of you still won't make it, still will not be able to execute, right? So that's why I'm never hesitant to giving away more information. And another thing that I say is, like, when I teach or kind of just explain things, I'm doing it for myself as well. This is always an educational moment for me because you always need to remember the basics. You always need to remember the foundation. Even as you progress, it is the foundation. It's the basics. It's the building blocks that keeps you consistently performing well. And as you guys can tell, coming back from the hiatus, like I was saying, I was not sticking to those basics. So yeah, that's a little bit of a sidetrack. Let's get back to RLB. RLB, this is kind of my thoughts for now. So I honestly, I didn't see this, reversal coming here. One reason being the daily downtrend. I thought this was going to be a rejection at the daily downtrend. Or actually I was hoping, right? I was predicting or hoping that this would be a rejection and we would get an accumulation range here and we may even dip below, right? That's what I really, really wanted. Especially because there's like FUD. Gainsy's leaving RLB, there's others, casinos popping up. There's a lot of nonsense going on with RLB all the time, right? And I was hoping some of that fear would carry price down and give me a better buying opportunity. When that didn't occur and we reclaimed the daily trend, you can see we're bouncing from it right now. One thing you guys will see is that on-chain coins trade a lot cleaner than centralized exchange coins. This is your SR. This is my line in the sand for RLB. I don't want to see it trading below here. I don't want to see it trading below here. And if we even want to make it even cleaner, you could say that's your daily demand, right? At worst, you want to see just wicks into this region, maybe wicks into this. And you don't want to see it reaccept below, what is this, like 12 cents. This is pretty much how I see RLB at the moment from a trader's perspective. This is not a coin that I want to trade actively. This is something that I had a position in personally all the way down here before it even moved to Ethereum, back at like 15. Now it's trading, it's 10x higher pretty much. But I had it at like 14, 15 back in April. I added on the Hasaka tweets and rode a lot of this. I didn't take profits at the Pico tops. I actually took profits right here around 17 and then closed the rest of my bag right around like 14 or something like that, right around in these regions. So I need to rebuild this bag, and I just basically, like you guys, want to buy as low as possible. I would be genuinely shocked if RLB somehow just traded against the market and started putting in all-time highs. So I just want to look for accumulation. Obviously, I'm kicking myself looking at this now and saying, well, if that's the goal, why didn't I just start nibbling from an investor perspective? Since I am long-term bullish on this coin going into next cycle. But generally speaking, like I said, if you're bullish on this from now, if you're positioned on this from now, you would start to get pretty worried if it starts trading below 12, because as this stands, this is just a deviation below 12. This is a reclaim. Hopefully you get a perfect back test. This is where I'm going to be looking to buy with my invalidation, like I said, being dropping below and reaccepting below. We should not be doing that. So I actually have bids on Unibot right here, just waiting to get filled. That's me on RLB. Big catch up with chat, and then we'll go back to the coins. It's going to be hard to keep up because there's so many requests from back in there now. So you're just going to keep harassing for obscure deck screener only alts. Yeah, no worries, man. I'll do it. Jones and load. Any info about Bombay? No, brother. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. He's probably just on hiatus from trading. I don't think it's anything to worry about. People take breaks, and they're more disciplined than the rest of us that can't stay away from Twitter and Discord and stuff. I do see him on Discord playing League sometimes, So he's around. I'm sure he's okay. Thoughts on AGIX? Yeah, we'll get to that. How do you think war will affect oil, gold, and legacy markets tomorrow? Here's my only experience. Okay, I talked about this in detail. I have a video called pre-market checklist, pre-trade checklist and intra-trade checklist. And I talk about this lesson from there. And I firmly believe that events only bring you to points on the chart, like strong points of interest on the chart simply just brings you there faster, right? This right here, this wick was the Russia-Ukraine war. This morning was the Russia-Ukraine war. And I had bids on Bitcoin down here. I had bids on Bitcoin down here. I was looking for this sweep. I was on the other side of the world at this time. And I was just looking. I was like, I have alerts and I'm going to be so happy. We get filled. I want to take longs in this region because I was just trading the range, right? And I got filled. I woke up, I got filled, and it was early in the morning. Like price was still trading. I don't think the 15-minute on TradingView is going to let me go that far back, but I can just explain it anyways, right? You know, I got filled and price was just in the wick, was just trading like this, right? It was just crabbing around in this wick. And I saw the news of Russia-Ukraine war, and I closed all my positions. I closed everything. I went back to being flat. And then I just watched this thing completely U-turn on me and send. And even in this, I was too scared to take a position. Even in this, I was too scared to take a position. Even in this, I was like hesitant to size up because I didn't know war. And look at the, in retrospect, did it affect markets? Did it freak people out? No, all it did was do exactly what we thought. It took out a low. It took out prior lows, it went into demand, and it reversed, right? So that war headline only accounted for this move right here. It took liquidity, and it reversed. Did anyone care about it? No. That's my perspective. Other people will have different perspectives on war and news and macro and stuff like that. That's how I see it. And that's how I'm going to continue to see it, and that's how I'm going to continue trading things, is that events only bring you to sticky levels faster. Now, number two, this occurred. This news about Israel and everything occurred on a weekend. What is our only global liquid market that trades 24/7, 365, never turns off? It is your basically denominator for risk on weekends. So this is a weekend event, and we didn't see Bitcoin respond in any dramatic fashion. In my opinion, that's probably your leading indicator for what happens on stocks and something on Monday. Now, if stocks move down on Monday, the headlines are going to say they're moving down on war. If they move up, the headlines are going to say markets brush off fear of war and continue anyways, right? They're going to make a hindsight analysis based on price and just, use the keyword war in there. That's how I see it. I hope that answers your question, but that's the only way that I can see it. Nice elephant, bro. Hilarious. Can you take a look at APT? Mav, yeah. Earlier at the start of this echo bubble, unlocks had inverse effect, but ever since second half of the year, in Mayo, that's changed. I didn't read the first question. Can you take a look at APT? Apparently a big unlock coming to the end of Q4, similar to unlock and trades that took like OP and Sand. I think this has potential. Daily constant rejected. So you're expecting upside on APT? Yeah, man. Earlier the year, there was bullish unlocks like Magic, just absolutely gigacent, but you have to understand the market that we were in. We were in a very, very risk-on environment. Bitcoin was doing a lot of bullish things in Q1 and Q2 to allow alts to have a lot of fun, right? Okay, so you're talking about downside. Yeah, man. Then you're on the right page. If you're thinking, more downside for unlocks, that's probably how I'd be leaning to in this time, because I think we even saw it on like DOT had an unlock and that was bearish. OP's had unlocks recently that have been bearish. So it's fair to say, using what's happening at the current time, the current meta has been unlocks have been bearish and they haven't really been trending too hard to the upside going into the unlock. But if you do get a move into the upside on OP, right? That kind of takes liquidity to the upside. That's where you could position to the downside, expecting lower lows, right? Just fade the pumps. So yeah, I echo your sentiment. I'm going to go back. I missed a lot of coins. So I stopped at RLB. I know we have so much to catch up on. We'll do it a little bit quicker. TRB. So yeah, I already gave my thoughts on TRB. Basically, I don't trade the cartel coins, but we can look at the chart anyways. I'm not going to trade this. So, I mean, look at the structure, right? It's just 4-hour trends to the upside, right? Every single one of these has been a hindsight long. I've talked about cartel coins in the past a lot, is that when they burge, right, you never know which ones are going to respect any type of support to the downside, right? This is demand. That's a tag of 4-hourly trends. I've seen cartel coins go like this and just get an anemic bounce and bleed out to zero. TRB has been, it's the cartel coin leader, right? It's the Bitcoin of cartel coins. So I think it's what everyone just kind of floods back into. They distribute, they go around, they play other cartel coins, and then they take their money back to TRB. That's kind of been the meta. So you just want to continue doing what's working, right? From a 4-hourly perspective, we're not going to use this. This is crab. Yeah, man, I don't have any significant thoughts one way or the other, and I don't want to lead your bias with my thoughts, because my thoughts are going to be less informed, less educated on cartel coins. I know you may be thinking, hey, Doc, why don't you just use your same, price action that you normally use on other coins, or trends that you use on other coins, or breakers, or liquidity, or anything. I really just don't want to get into that. Like I said, I just do not trade the cartel coins, so why should I be giving my thoughts on these? I don't want to give thoughts on things that I don't do. You need to have skin in the game to talk about things, in my opinion. Just reading about things, just looking about things from the outside in, does not give you the right to comment on things. And I think even if someone has been unsuccessfully trading this, but they've been trading it, they're probably more qualified to talk about coins like TRB. But yeah, I mean, it's to the upside. You really have to be very, very precise, to nail these tops. You don't want to be a fader blindly, right? Even here, how can I tell that this is going to be a top and not continue? It's very difficult. It doesn't apply the same logics, and I think you need to have a good understanding of flow, as far as not just analytical and understanding flow. You need to be able to actionably trade flow to be profitable on these coins, in my opinion. Those are my thoughts on TRB. And since I can read flow, but I can't actionably trade flow, I stay away. From cartel coins. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, just want to repeat. Can I do Unibot? Yeah, of course. Unibot thoughts are simple, super, super simple. These are my thoughts on Unibot. This just looks like accumulation to me. You're bullish on Unibot. If you're bullish on Unibot, you're buying here, right? You're just accumulating. This is totally out of favor. Excuse me. There is very little demand. I don't see why anyone should care about the Unibot token, right? It's kind of like a cyclical play on the strength of on-chain is the way that I'm gonna, it's really the way I see Unibot now. It's not really like an overall broad market fundamental play, and I think I differ from a lot of people that are more bullish on Unibot in this perspective. I think Unibot is just a good proxy long whenever you see an uptick in on-chain activity, whenever you see on-chain flows pick up, whenever you see gas prices picking up on Ethereum. I think that's the time to be bullish on Unibot price action. Otherwise, honestly, like, other coins did echo bubbles, right? Why didn't Unibot? Right? Why is Unibot getting outperformed? Unibot was the outperformer in on-chain summer. It did really, really well in on-chain summer. But why is it getting outperformed by Harry Potter? Look at the echo bubble that this coin had, right? It did a lot better. It rounded off more. It had more bias to the downside. It was more structurally significant. Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I just don't think there's interest in Unibot, and I don't want to really care about coins that are not very strong. But I mean, my thoughts on this and other people's thoughts on this is gonna be the same thing. Here's your tried and true demand, right? We already tagged it. This wick tagged that demand. I know people in the clinic, namely Glass, bought that wick, right? So he's super stoked. He bought this like Pico bottom of this wick, and he's probably sitting pretty comfy. But yeah, I mean, what you want to see, like all other altcoins after a bubble, is you want to see accumulation, right? And when something is in accumulation, you don't really, there's no stress in buying today. You just want to continually see price action that goes like this, and then maybe in the second tap, maybe in the third tap, maybe in the fourth tap, you can buy in, or even you can wait and buy higher. And the way that you can do that is just wait for the daily 100, daily 200. Like I said, this one hasn't even formed yet. For these to come down, right? Price action to flip these, start using these as support, and then trade it to the upside. And that's how you can speculate or expect that something like this might be coming once again. And then you can just save yourself from dealing with this. And it, one thing that's undervalued in crypto, I think, is like the mind space that holding bags takes. It does take a lot of mental like strain. Like you're always thinking about it a little bit, right? When you buy spot, you're always like kind of interested. Okay, how's it doing? Let me pull up the chart. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? But if you have a system to play these things to the upside when and if they come, you really don't have to feel FOMO. If you're really, really strongly convicted, which I know some people are, I think these are good prices. I think 50 million market cap for what Unibot does is really cheap. And I think some people will be very, very happy that they did that if Unibot continues to build and puts in higher highs. And people like myself will be wondering, hey, why didn't I have stronger conviction to hold spot down here? Why was I looking at this from a trader's perspective? I should have been looking at this from an investor's perspective. So those are just a couple ways to see Unibot. Arb and Sol, we did that. TRB, we've done that. Indicators, Unibot. What else are we doing? AGIX, sure. I'm pretty sure this is gonna look like shit. My thoughts on this are gonna be like nothing. What is there to say on this? Like I explained, coins that you want to trade coins that are structured to the upside, like this. Right? You want to trade coins with interest, coins that give you clear directionality, right? And have high side targets to aim for. They give you really strong positions, but like coins that are just dead, that do nothing, that have no interest and have no narrative and are just crabbing around, all you're left with is taking range bound trades and fading range highs and buying range lows. And if you're a spot player, you could just be saying, look, I'm bullish on AGIX long term. I want to take positions at these range lows. And that's really all there is to say about coins that look like this. Is this bottomed? Maybe. You would have to, factor in a lot of things. Do they have narratives coming up? Are people going to be bullish on AGIX? I know it was a leader with, what's it called? AI narrative earlier this year. Some more price history. Yeah. Even get this is a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, very clear demand, has traded all the way back into that demand, has crabbed sideways for a very long amount of time. If you're bullish on this coin for a fundamental reason, this is the time to pick up spot. For a trader, there's better coins out there. No need to trade coins like that look like this. This is a spot and chill coin. And then occasionally you get the gap fill plays, which I've talked about numerous times on like these dead projects, is you can get gap fill opportunities where if they start trending on lower time frames, start trending on the 4 hour, trending on the 1 hour, start flipping the H4 100, 200, you can look for gaps into the daily 100, daily 200. If you want more information on this one, last week's stream, I covered this play in detail 9 or 10 times, just numerous amount of times. If you want to learn the gap fill, go back and look at those streams. That's where I looked at it. So Jingo, Jones and Lodestar. All right, man. You really want me to do these? Let's see. Are they on? They're deck screener only, you said? Oh, hey, look at this. It gave you the gap fill. I hope you took advantage of that. That's my trade done. Right? That's my trade done. I wouldn't even be in Jones anymore after this. Right? This is the play right here. You have 4 hour structuring, right, to the upside, 4-hour trend to the upside. You're flipping the H4 100 200. You start filling gaps, right? Here's your gap right here from H4, the H4 bands to the daily band. Boom, that's trade 1 done. Here's trade 2 done. As it sells off, you defend here, move it to the top side. Trade 2 done. Those are the 2 trades. This is the most illiquid piece of shit. Look at these 4-hour candles, bro. 4-hour candles looking like 1-hour candles. Again, fundamental trades, right? If you have a thesis to play these, and there's a narrative, Arbitrum season, whatever, TVL is going up, they're doing new things. Those are the ways to trade this. Otherwise, from a trading perspective, this is already done. As an investor, you have more information than me. You have information asymmetry. You have information that I don't have, and more power to you. As a trader, this is already done. I don't want anything to do with this. I would have taken advantage of those gap fill plays had I been aware of them ahead of time, and that's it. And if this didn't have perps, I probably wouldn't have played it anyways. This is on MEXC. Maybe MEXC has perps for this. I do have a MEXC account, but if it didn't, I probably wouldn't even have taken it anyways. Lodestar. Hopefully this one's better. All right. I'm pretty sure you're not talking about these. Oh wait, here we go. Nope. Last one. If this doesn't work out, nope, we're not doing this one. Okay. I'm not going on deck screener, bro. I did that. We'll be looking to buy Unibot in the future. Yeah, man. Like, I think I already explained how I would buy Unibot. But yeah, I would buy it kind of on a narrative basis. If I think that on-chain activity is going to pick up, that's when I get interested in buying Unibot. Downside. I'm saying the opposite. Yeah. And that was after the echo. Any thoughts on Pepe or Sui? So I did Pepe earlier in the stream, brother. If you want to go, I think it's like the first coin that I covered. Probably go back like 40 minutes, 40 minutes, and you'll find my thoughts on Pepe. Or Sui. I think the next window of risk, these two can go crazy. See, this is my problem with Sui. Sui's had so many opportunities in risk-on environments, in environments where alts have done well, namely like June, right? To do something special, and every time all it's done is bled out. I don't want anything to do with Sui until it rounds out and starts flipping the H4 100 200, right? This is kind of starting to look like a bottoming structure. So that's plus point number one. I haven't looked at Sui in about a month or so, but yeah, this is starting to look like a bottoming structure, which is a positive. This is the first time that it's spent a month going sideways. Yeah, this is the first time in its price history that it's spent a month going sideways. So that's pretty bullish for Sui. Not bullish, but you can get bull curious on Sui. Do we have the daily 100 yet? This is one of the prime candidates for a gap fill. Pretty inefficient price action. Let's come down to the 4-hour. Did I take trades on Sui? Was I probably just looked at this on the last stream. Someone probably just asked me about Sui on the last stream. Yeah, so what the trade that I would take is not in here at all. I would allow a narrative to form. Like you said, if you were looking for a risk on environment, I would allow Sui to come up here. I would take positions based on these kind of moving upwards, hopefully by then, and then a local 4-hour trend, right, being carried. Like if this 4-hour trend is moving up, price is responding with it, we clear this SR. That's where I want to take positions to look to fill in this void, this completely disastrous, disgusting, inefficient price action on the way down, all the way to the daily 100. That's when I get bullish on Sui, especially because people that don't read markets like this, don't read trend structuring like this, don't understand a shift in character on high time frames, are going to want to fade these moves. And they may get one opportunity to fade this high, but they probably get squeezed out on the second fade, right? And that's what carries these big moves to the upside, especially because this is like a Hasaka coin. So you'll probably be tweeting Pokemon pictures and that'll fuel a lot of upside. Any thoughts on TON? Dude, I don't know about Ton. What is Ton? I know it just like launched and it was like immediately a top 10 coin or something. This looks okay. It honestly looks okay. A little bit of hindsight LARPing. Look how nice this trade would have been. One thing I like to say, guys, is pumps come in twos and dumps come in twos. This looks like it's done that two-sided pump, but one correction, higher high, back into all of these back into all of these highs. So it might be done, but you don't want to fade a trend. Let's go through. It's interesting. What is Ton? I know it's a new coin. At least I think it's a new coin. It is not a new coin. It's been around for a year. What am I talking about? Yeah, this is the line of defense for all intents and purposes. If you want to see continuation for Ton, you need to be starting to position into this area. If you want to see upside continuation for Ton, it needs to come out of this area. Boom. All right. So what you have here is a 4-hour breaker. This is the high that led to the low, right? This low hit this demand, reclaimed, really, really strong, clean continuation. This is your first test of that breaker, right? Even if you want to look at this on lower time frame, right here, you have another breaker. I don't know how this looks more liquid than other coins that we've looked at today as far as requests go. There's another shot right there. Here is a trade opportunity. If you're taking it off this, you basically do not want to see acceptance below this on the 1 hour. Yeah, that looks pretty good, right? Here's your trade around 206. If you can get it back into there, 205. But realistically, with all of these candles already forming, we really don't want to see. You kind of just want this to push away. Like, I always love playing into strength more than I love, seeing it give people the opportunity 5, 6, 8 times to get the same trade. Like, I don't like entries where everyone has the opportunity to get the entry. But yeah, this is clean. This is clean. This is your point of breakdown, hourly breaker, reclaim, hourly trend reclaim. Here's liquidity to the upside, right? There's your like 3-hour trade. Boom, right in there into this inefficiency, this liquidity void. I don't know what this wick is. That's mad. But we're going to call this a liquidity void anyways, right? Boom. This is how I would see Ton. You absolutely do not want to see this reaccepting below here. You may be thinking, yeah, but isn't this support? It is. It is absolutely support. You can position off of this, but if there is going to be trend reversal, if there is going to be bullishness, it should come out of this region. It should not be retracing this move. This is the test of support. This is your accumulation at support. That's your reversal. The reversal needs to sustain momentum to the upside. You really don't want to see this continuing to give people opportunities. And if it does so, it's probably going to spend more time crabbing before it does something, right? So if you get stopped, you're kind of just saving yourself time in this coin. If it wants to reverse, it's going to come out of here. Accumulating on-chains tokens requires patience. Can start nibbling now with Unibot in my honest opinion. Yeah, I agree, Zed. I agree. You guys have a very high time frame, long. What's the right way to say this? High time preference for the on-chain coins, RLB, Unibot, those kind of coins like that. So yeah, I agree with you. You can start nibbling now. There's a lot of coins like even LDO like this. We were talking about this in the clinic the other day. Is like this is starting to look like accumulation to me. Right? We marked this out. This is starting to look like accumulation. So some coins out there are getting me very interested from a spot perspective, just to start nibbling into some bags, because this is sold out for the majority of this year. It put in the top February 18th. And has been down only for 220 days. After 220 days, it's finally starting to put in sort of a rounding accumulation. You know, this is the first time that I'm seeing something like this that I'm interested in. When we're here, I didn't think we'd sold off enough. Now I think that we've probably sold off enough and started accumulating. It's just a 6 million market cap coin that got a 2 million ARB grant, though. You're talking about Jones, I think. Jones. Yeah, on TradingView, these are borked. Yeah, they look like trash. They look like trash, man. SUI and APT look badly cooked. So much structure and bag holders to overcome when we go risk on. Would be better off with newer coins, especially from a spot perspective. Obviously, trades are available. I think that's true about APTZ. I think what carried APT earlier this year was like the Korean bid. Like it got listed on a Korean exchange and the Korean bid was just absolutely relentless. Which is really, really important because I don't think there's going to be that many bag holders. If you understand the way that they play, they're just you know, long only, degen only, leverage trading the fuck out of APT. So there might not be that many bag holders on APT. And similarly for SUI, I don't think people are buying SUI. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. But I feel like this is just VC distribution that's happening right now. And once they're done distributing, this will have a bull market or at least a rally or at least moves up, right? I think there's going to be opportunity in these coins from a trading perspective. From a spot perspective, I don't know what SUI does. I don't know what APT does. I don't care about those coins. I don't think they're going to make a major impact next bull market. I could be wrong and underinformed. That's where you guys would have the advantage on me for being better informed on coins like that. But I don't really know what's going on there. How do you use VWAPs? Can you elaborate, please? I use VWAPs just from a structuring perspective, who's in control of the market, a very high time frame point of view. How can I, you know, what's a good coin? We could just talk about Render, right? There's two ways to use these, either on very, very low time frame on a scalping perspective, just to fade the outer bands whenever they start forming on the daily, right? That's one way to use VWAPs. And the second way is to understand who's in control of the market from a trend perspective on higher time frames. So let's take a look on like LDO. Actually, I don't know if LDO is perfect. Well, let's do Render. I just want to give you guys one that's like a really good example. So Render reclaim, like, I don't even know. I've never taught VWAPs before. So I'm going to probably screw my words up a little bit. VWAPs are nothing more than average price with volume included, right? So that's the first thing to understand. What are VWAPs doing differently than EMAs? They're just including volume, right? They're the average price plus volume. A simple SMA, an SMA is taking all of the data. It's equally weighting. It's equally weighting every single candle, right? Every single candle has equal weight. That's what an SMA does. An EMA is weighting more recent price action, right, in this area more heavily than older price action. That's what an EMA is doing, exponential moving average. And then a VWAP is doing the same thing as these. It's taking into account all the candles, but it's adding volume. So it's taking more data from the higher volume moves, right? So some people would say it is the superior form of following trends. And as I start to learn and get comfortable with VWAPs, I'm starting to agree and I'm starting to use these more. The VWAPs that I use are the same ones that the person who taught me this, Trader Magus, uses, right? This gray one here is the yearly, right? The purple one is the monthly, the blue one is the quarterly, right? And then the green one is the weekly. I know it looks really complicated and messy here. The dotted line in between is your VWAP, right? That is the VWAP. The band outside of it is one standard deviation, right? So this is one standard deviation to the downside. This is one standard deviation to the top side. The way that you would kind of use this is if you're in bullish structure, you kind of want to continue seeing it bounce off the VWAP, right? You want the VWAP to be pointing upwards, right? Like this, something like that. And you want to continue bouncing off this or bouncing off the top of the band, right? That's how you want to see price react with the VWAP. In a flat market, right? Like I showed you with render here, you want to be a fader, right? You want to be fading the outsides of the VWAPs, right? If they're confluent with price action. And at the top of the stream, I gave you an example on INJ, right? This was an INJ play that I took this morning. This was, and I'll go over this again. I talked about this at the top of the stream, but let's put it all together. Bitcoin came down to a couple confluent areas for me, right? Here is a key SR and supply, right, from before being flipped into support. Let's clean some of this stuff up. We'll look at price action first, right? 1 hour fair value gap, significant region of SR, right? This is where the trend broke down, higher highs, higher lows. This is where trend broke down to the downside. This is where it rejected, right, on the bearish backtest, and then it reclaimed. So we want to see this box defended. In that box, I had a fair value gap that was confluent with the weekly and the monthly, because the monthly and the quarterly and the weekly VWAPs, because we're all in the first week of all of this stuff, right? Confluence there, confluence there, confluence there, right? So that's how I'm using VWAPs here. I didn't take the Bitcoin trigger. What I took instead was the INJ, right? I was looking at INJ similarly. All these VWAPs flipped, resistance, 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 comes back into support. This is an SR. These are your VWAPs. In this region on lower time frames, I'm seeing liquidity sweep, right? Sweep of liquidity into VWAP, into SR, into all those things. And then I come to very low time frames on INJ, and I see, looky-loo, it's at the edge of the VWAP on the daily as well. So that's how you can use VWAPs, in a trending market, like I explained, in a trending market where VWAPs are pointing to the upside. You want to see them continuing to use the VWAPs as support. In a range-bound market, like we saw in render on low time frames, you want to see these, like, you want to just fade the extremities of these, right? If this is confluent with your system in your trade, it just adds confluence. Like, this is a low time frame area to fade, so this can be a low time frame trigger for something like INJ with high time frame confluence. I hope that all makes sense. That's actually my first time ever talking and trying to teach VWAPs, so don't crucify me for that explanation. I think your thoughts on the MAV chart? Boom. That's the first thing you see on the VWAP structuring, right? We're just talking about this. In a trending market, you're holding these as resistance, right? In an uptrend, look, you're holding them as support. Very simple stuff. You're not going to be able to actionably trade those on high time frame. It's just giving you levels to work with. You have to still come up with an entry trigger system, a way to define risk around those levels, but it's just giving you levels to work with. It's the same way I'm not taking trades because my system right now relies heavily on EMAs. I'm not taking trades just because something tapped an EMA. Just like, render. I'm not taking a trade just because it taps something. I'm looking for a run of a low. I'm looking for some trigger within that point of interest. Just like render, just like INJ, just like all these other things we talked about. So where were we? MAV. One thing that is staring me in the face on this is this price action, this lower high price action that's starting to round out, right? That's looking good for reversal. We have anything on high time frame? Actually, oh my goodness. When did I look at MAV? I have something on here. Or did I just draw that? I already lost my mind. Maybe I just drew that. I don't know. Okay. Let's give some serious thoughts on this. Okay, so number one, when you're looking at market structure, right, you want to continue to make higher lows, right? You want to continue making higher lows. You don't want this, right, the last most recent higher high to retreat all the way back to this one. This is generally not something that's super, super bullish. And if it does occur, you want it to be bought up quickly. Like, you don't want it to be spending time there. The idea is very simple. Market participants should not be given the opportunity to buy at the places they want. They're looking at this, they're saying that's support. Their support should be front run, right? Right here, you're seeing trend structuring where it's making higher lows, right? But this most recent one had the most brutal sell-off coming all the way back into the prior support region, right? So if we do get a bounce from here, I would be expecting a lower high to form. I wouldn't be expecting a higher high to form simply because you've given so many people the opportunity to buy this one. That's just something I want to say. Also, you did SFP range high, right? You went to the point of breakdown. You were not able to reclaim the point of breakdown. In the point of breakdown, all you did is SFP local highs and this high, and then broke back down, right? So overall, high time frame, not super bullish. At worst or at best, you're probably going to get a lower high to long into. And being below the H4 100-200 makes me think that more chop is inbound, more sideways is inbound before you get that kind of relief, right? Those are my very broad thoughts. Now, coming to lower time frames, I think you will get some kind of rally where, this is kind of going down, where this one moves up and comes into this area, right? So you will get a move into here for this to occur, for this to start forming. Now we can see if there's anything on low time frames to form that trigger. Here is your trigger. That was your trigger right there. That is a breaker, bullish breaker. Here's your downtrend. Here is the high that took to the low to run liquidity, reversed. This is a bearish order block that became a bullish breaker. That's your entry trigger. Here's your invalidation. Targets are up to you, how bullish you are on this one, if there's anything going for it, what's the liquidity like, what's the interest like, what's the tick rate like. This could just as easily form another lower high. First test, best test, you're probably going to want to take profits at this first hourly supply, right? Look at all this supply. So this RR isn't that great. Given the wick that was just produced, you could probably tighten it and say it shouldn't trade into this wick, right? But then again, look at where the entry is. We're already, super far off this entry. If you take it up here, that's a 1 hour trade. That's horrible. If you can get it down here, that's a 2 hour trade. That's manageable. Hope that makes sense on Mav. All right. Rollbit just disabled my account. I'm gonna cry. Froze my withdrawals, disabled my account. Brother, I hope you didn't have a lot of money on there. That sucks, man. Those are the horror stories that I keep hearing about Rollbit. I'm long-term bullish. I'm an investor. I rode a lot on Rollbit. I don't really want to give it back. Some of my concerns with Rollbit are that Gainsey left, man. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that, Hasaka was there for a minute and then he left. I don't like that CBS was there for a minute and he left. Or CBS was actually a big believer or what's the right word? Not influencer, but whatever. He was a big user of Rollbit and he left and he gets some bullshit excuse about health reasons or something like that. We all know that's nonsense. Hasaka left and now Gainsey left, right? And now you hear these horror stories of, withdrawals and stuff like that. That's not great. You don't love to hear that. I hope you get your money back, bro. That sucks. That sucks. Hinge just disabled my account. I don't know what Hinge is, brother. We're not the same. Thoughts on Lever? Brother. Is this a cartel coin? I was talking about this earlier. I was like, a lot of cartel coins, they don't give you what you want, right? Like TRB. Can I pull these up side by side? Boom. This is what I want to point out. This is why I'm not trading cartel coins, is because these require flows, actionable trades, an understanding of flows, right? This should have been at least an area to bounce on Lever. because it occurred on TRB, right? However you want to draw this box, it's really not important how I draw this. The idea is what's there, right? There's demand, there's your blow off top. Here you found another set of a bounce, right? This is occurring on TRB. The difference between these two coins is not anything to do with price action. It's not anything to do with systematic. It's not anything to do with looking at price. It is everything to do with understanding flows, order flow. It's everything to do with understanding positioning, trader positioning. I can understand and analyze those things. I do not have a system that allows me to trade them in an actionable manner. Therefore, I stay away from all of these coins because I know that I don't want to put in the effort to learn these. I know how lucrative they are. I know how much money that you can make. And I know I see guys like JD just destroying cartel coins, making so much money on them. And of course I feel bad. And of course I want to make money trading these coins. But unless I have an idea of what I'm doing, I'm not going to trade these coins. So that's what I just want to say on Lever. I cannot tell which ones are going to fully burge like this and which ones are going to burge and continue. Generally speaking, it's a bad idea to short these ones. I know the negative funding and stuff that I'm not going to say anything different than you guys don't already know. That real talk. I'm not going to say anything different that you guys don't already know. Look at TRB. It's already done. It has a history of doing these things. It's coming all the way down here. If you're speculating that Lever is going to get another scam pump at somewhere in the future, right? Somewhere down the line, months down the line, you could be cheeky and you could just pick up some spot down here and you could wait for the next scam pump and just sell your spot into that. That could be a strategy that you could use. You have an opinion on Rose? Nope. So much bull posting on Twitter. Try to ignore it for long. I haven't seen one bull post on Rose on Twitter. We're obviously not following the same people. I didn't even know Rose had a narrative. No one in the clinic is even talking about Rose. This looks like shit. I probably haven't looked at this since Q1. Oh my God, wait a minute. Okay. No, man. Why are they bull posting this coin? So much bull post. This is the coin that they're bull posting? Are you kidding me? Why are you gonna bull post this coin, brother? Nah, there's nothing to say on this one, dude. Thanks for your explanation. No problem, bro. Pretty neat explanation. Yep. Away from the charts, you did some amazing interviews with other good traders, but who were the top example traders you learned from the most besides Magnus? Magus, by the way, not Magnus. I modeled and learned. Well, I modeled my system after Trader XO, Trader Main, and Pierre Crypto. Those are the three people that influenced my trading the absolute most. And recently, Magus has influenced a lot of my trading as well. Those are the four people that have, without a doubt, influenced it the most. There's intangibles that I pick up from everyone. I'm picking up a lot of intangibles from Magus. Intangibles meaning psychology, professionalism, those kind of things, day in and day out, building portfolios, like stuff that has nothing to do with charts, right? And even if it has something to do with charts, it's not purely price action based. It's just understanding the environment that you're in and stuff like that. So those are people that influenced me the most. And I learned from the absolute most. I have threads on this. I have a thread. If you go into the search bar and you put in my name, DocXBT, put in a colon, and then type in what I've learned, you'll see a thread that I did around New Year's time this year, that included what I learned from CBS, stuff that I learned from XO, stuff that I learned from Pierre, stuff that I learned from APG, and so on. So you can get some information there, and then you go to my channel and you'll see videos like the pre-trade checklist, intra-trade checklist, stuff like that. You'll see influences in there. Some of my watch list videos, I have one that says most alpha yet, watch this video, you'll see stuff in there. And I give you examples of, Trader Main, Trader, Pierre, XO, stuff like that. So, yep. What's up, Timothy? If you start from scratch, who would you follow, learn from? The people I just said. Trader Main, Trader XO, Pierre Crypto, Trader Magus, Kobe, all his old stuff. He doesn't share information anymore. In Silico Bunker, I just posted it into the educational channel in the clinic. Go read the stuff in the bunker. Yeah, man, those are the real guys. Like you can learn all the bells and whistles of the market. You can learn so much stuff. There's like infinite amount of information out there. But those are the people that I follow first and foremost. Obviously, Cred has a series that's like crypto based and like, price action, educational stuff. You can go through that. But if I was trying to tell someone, like if I had a son that I was trying to teach trading to, I would say, watch the ICT mentorship. No, excuse me. I would say in this order: watch Cred's videos. I don't even know, because I haven't watched Cred's videos myself. I just know that's a really, really good example of where to learn. So I don't know how basic he starts, but I think he starts really, really, really basic, like explaining candles. So I'd say watch Cred's videos, watch ICT's mentorship, watch Trader Main and Trader XO's YouTube videos and streams every week. Follow Pierre on Twitter. He has so many threads explaining his system. And then follow Magus or join the Paragon. Those are the steps that I'd give people. I'm not arrogant, cocky, or confident enough to say learn from me. I'm a student. I want to remain a student. I want to continue staying in the student role. I don't ever want to advertise myself as a teacher. The minute you start becoming a teacher is the minute you stop learning. And I want to continue learning and growing and being better, because I haven't achieved the goals overall that I've set out for myself yet. No worries, Arun. You're welcome. GMX, please. Yeah, let's do GMX. GMX is something I forgot to cover last week. Someone was asking about GMX, and I'm actually upset because I saw it intra week, and I was like, dang, there was some banger trades to take on GMX that I didn't look into. Yeah, this looks really good. That's not too great. You want the 4-hour trends to be pointing upwards, not sideways. But still, nonetheless, it's okay. Oh, wait. It already gave you this play? No. Tell me it didn't do this. That's such a good trade. There's so many trades in here. Yeah, that's what I was kicking myself. Oh no, this is last month. Okay, so I'm not, no worries. We're not stressed about it anymore. This past week is over here. Okay. So this was the trade that I would have wanted to be in and would have kicked myself if I missed this week. This looks phenomenal. Now it's more chop, right? Now I'm going to use lower time frame price action to inform decisions, inform trades. And I don't see it here. This is not, there's better trades out there. We've covered a few of them. We did one on TON just now. No, actually TON missed the entry. There was another coin that someone asked me that looked really good, that had a breaker as well. Those are setups I really like to take. Here's one that you could take on. Yeah, boom. This is good. Liquidity run. There's your high. Led to your low. Boom, boom. Let's see if there's any confluence. Yes, there is. I think it needs more time. I don't think it's ready to reverse just yet. I think it's going to be more chop. Just gut feeling, experience feeling. I think this needs more time before it's ready to move back up. I don't think this is going to be the reversal like right now this week. I don't think the setup's there. There's just a little bit of discretion involved. I know my system is giving me that idea, but just having looked at the congestion of this, it's just giving me the vibe that I'm going to be somewhat disappointed on this trade. I think it just needs more time. Especially because you already got this leg. Like you already got this move, right? You got your correction, you got your like relief back into here, and it's moving down. If it wants to make another move, you need time. You need time before it's going to do something like this again. That's just how I'd look at that. The best trade on here was the run of the low down here. But let's look at a high time frame. I haven't looked at. Oh my God, there's more price history on GMX somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gut feeling. This is probably going to start. This is the start of accumulation for this one as well. This is the gut feeling. Yeah, it was amazing this year. I took a lot of trades on GMX. I know a lot of people in the clinic took a lot of trades on GMX and held spot. This was a banger trade earlier this year. Even last summer, I remember this was like a Kobe coin where like the market was going to zero and GMX was going up. It just has been uninspiring, right, since April. Yeah, accumulation, right? Accumulation before anything else happens. Low time frames, I don't think it's ready. This was the banger move. This is the move that you wanted to capture. If you were in this one, that's great. I think it's going to take some more sideways before anything else. They gave me my money back, but my account is banned now, thank God. Yeah. Sucks, bro. Sucks. No one's asked about LDO yet. I'm a little surprised. Surprised. Posted this one in the clinic earlier. It's literally doing my doodle. Literally doing my doodle. Very high target on this one. Just speaking on the daily, right? Market structure break. We don't need this. We don't need any of these. These things bother me, guys. I don't know why. I can't like speak when I see these things on my screen. It just feels like clutter. Right, here's your market structure break. Here's multiple days, even a week of putting in a lower high, and now you're breaking out of this localized value, this built value, breaking up to this to the upside. This is so inefficient. I think there's going to be a more structural move on the way up this time around versus a candle like this. But there's 173 equal highs. LDO's yeah, it is what it is. I posted this trade earlier. I posted the high time frame chart on Twitter, and then I posted this earlier in the clinic, and I was like jokingly saying, someone asked CBS, tell me how to break out long this, and I just low IQ, like so low IQ, watch this hourly close and just bid into this one. I even have a better entry than this thing right here. But yeah, looks good. I'm gonna take profits a lot lower. I'm gonna take profits like not even there here. Nope. Yeah, I haven't set the ask yet. But yeah, I'd probably take profits as minute. Let me actually do that now. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't expect this to move while we're on stream. I took this entry a little bit before stream started. Okay. All right. Now the difference that I've been, implementing the last few days, has been that I don't even though I'm so bullish. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Even though I'm so optimistic that this could occur, breaking out of this built value, accepting out of this built value, and really putting in solid grindy price action to the upside. Even though I think that's a very strong possibility here, I still want to be a take profit maxi along the way. I know I have some ridiculous 15R setup here. It's not going to end up, I probably won't even get 15R. I'll probably continue getting 3Rs, 2Rs, something like that the entire way up. But these are the trades that I really look for in the markets. And I'm hoping that we get a nice hourly trend or 4-hourly trend. I know LDO is a 1-hour trender. It's not a 4-hour trender. Yeah, LDO is a 1-hour trender. Like Render is a 4-hour trender. Render is an absolute 4-hour trender, but LDO is a 1-hour guy. So this is how I'm going to play Render. Excuse me, LDO. And I just said asks there. I said asks there, and I said asks here. GMX probably continues to outperform ARB. Methinks no reason to have spot ARB. Dude, didn't GMX have some kind of FUD behind it? I've seen like posts about how GMX has like an extremely Ponzi system. I've seen comparisons to Luna. I don't know anything about it, but yeah. I entered LDO 156 to 172 last time, so not getting in it. So you're saying you took this trade last time and you don't want to take it again. Gotcha. I did INJ a little bit. High time frame INJ, guys. I'm very like optimistic about this one too. Like this looks phenomenal. Honestly, phenomenal with equal highs at the top to target. And if you look at the monthly, I mean, you know, and it's been holding up against everything else. Relatively speaking, like against all these other coins, as they're putting in lower lows, INJ is finding a way to put in higher lows. On the daily, is this my INJ chart that I'm using? I guess so. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks good. The way that this is gonna fly is once we get over this previous quarter's VWAP at $8. $8 is my line in the sand. Last time I took this trade to the top side last week. I think INJ was my best trade last week, and then I'm in the long right now. I told you guys how I took that long to start the stream, and I think I covered it one more time after that. But yeah, once we start accepting above 8, like you guys can see all this giga resistance. We have the upper yearly VWAP. We have the previous quarter's VWAP at around 8. You have tons of supply here. So it is fair to say that, you know, this could reject and come down. Of course. But given that this is in daily bullish market structure, given that we put in this much support in this area here, I'm biased to believe that this rally will continue, and you are going to be able to target $8.70 and potentially $10. Of course, the idea is to continue taking lower time frame trades, but using that high time frame bias. The one thing I did do with INJ is I bought spot in Value. I haven't been active in Value, but I'm going to be looking to be more active in Value. And I shouldn't even be doing like an ad read right now or anything, but just to shout them out, you know, they're a they're a protocol that allows other traders the tools to trade. It's kind of like it's not really copy trading. I'm trading your capital for you, right? Like you can deposit money into my vault, give me access to your funds, and then I can trade to my liking. You know, whether I want to trade perps on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or I want to trade on chain, ETH mainnet, Arbitrum, Optimism, I can do that kind of stuff. So what I did in the vault recently was pick up INJ. I picked up INJ, I think 758 with this speculation that we're going to get trend continuation to the upside here, and that I could ride that spot a lot higher. So I picked it up somewhere right around here, right on this reclaim. Actually, it wasn't even there. It was below. It was below. It was like right here. It was like 58 or something like that, 60. Because I had this high time frame bullish idea, and it's kind of playing out right now, right in front of our eyes. I was really bullish on this entire leg. This pulled back way harder than I thought. You guys may have seen that tweet last week where I thought I was going to get continuation somewhere in this region, and it just knifed right through that all the way down here. And you may be thinking, well, why didn't you pick up spot here? Well, what I like to do is play into trends and not try to, you know, catch knives at the bottom. If I'm going to play a bottom, I'm either going to play an accumulation, right? Excuse me, like it shouldn't even be like that. It should be like this. Run of the low, get back inside that. Like I would play into a bottoming structure like that. I don't typically catch knives like this. INJ, one of the best charts in 2023. I agree, brother. I agree. Interested in your high time frame thoughts on a chart like RDPX. Is this the full price history? You know what's good about this is it's starting to round out. I don't think this is going to be the full price history. RDPX. Boy. Okay. So this was around in 2021. So one thing I would say on a coin like this is ignore this coin, man. I mean, if it's an old coin, it's a last cycle's coin, it's already done like crazy multiples, right? It's already given you the 100x. It's already done the 100x bottom to top. it's just going to be irrelevant. So, I mean, in a nutshell, those are my thoughts. Like, screw this coin. Who cares? There are no high time frame thoughts. Like, yeah, you can trade this. Yeah, you can do whatever. Yeah, you can play the narratives. But why? Why care? The best coins are the ones that have people always that are willing to buy the dip, that have people always thinking this is going to 100x, that have people having targets all the way up here, you know, and then you can sell to them in a strategic manner. That have like buyers of last resorts, that have people that are like, I'm never going to sell. I'm not going to sell this resistance. Who cares if it comes up here and I round trip all the way back because it's going to go up to there, right? And just last cycle coins are not going to have most of those participants, unless you're a Link Marine. Like Link Marines are definitely like that. Link Marines will definitely ride this back to 38 and ride this back down into accumulation. Yeah, INJ Cast pretty much the MVPs of 2023. Agree. Looks bad here. Did I miss anything? Did I miss any coins, guys? I think I got everything. I think I'm caught up. You guys have any questions, leave them in, whether they're charts or not. Happy to answer. We've been going for almost 2 hours already. We've been going for 2 hours, and I'm pretty much answering questions the whole time, I think. The only coins I really wanted to share with people were Render, which we talked about. We talked about INJ. We talked about LDO, and then we'll talk about Maker and Rune. This one I'm preparing to be very bearish on. I think, honestly, I think at most from here you're gonna get more like run of the highs and more distribution, and then it's just gonna collapse right back into range. I'm really not hopeful that Maker is gonna continue on upwards. Those are just my thoughts. I've kind of just seen the schematic play out too many times that I'm actually just looking for it, and it's leading my bias. Like, experience is definitely leading my bias here, and I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how I see this. But until I get a candle back into here, right, and maybe some consolidation or something, I'm going to continue playing the range, and what's going to lead my bias within this range is going to be either liquidity sweeps to the downside or the upside. So we got one this morning. I decided not to take this trade on Maker, even though it's very, very clear signal, equal lows, very clear SR, right? So you could have taken this trigger, very, very clean trigger here on Maker. I did not take this trade. And then there's a bunch of highs to clean up to the top side, right? Inefficient price action down, a bunch of highs to clean up to the top side, even equal highs, triple equal highs up untapped to the top side here. Definitely can run. I can't shake the idea that this is going to be distribution in one way or another, and it's going to lead, and I'm going to get to short this leg. And for me, I'm comfortable missing a lot of trades or just being patient, because when this setup occurs, that's when I size into trades, and I'll make up for a lot of this other stuff just because I'm comfortable with that one setup. Those setups don't appear that often. Sorry, it's my cat. Those setups don't appear that often, but when they do, I love to like just fucking size up for those ones. Link never gonna sell, brother. I've been in so many Marine spaces. They're like psyopsing me into like believing the fundamentals of Link. I don't want to get entrapped into believing fundamentals of anything in crypto. I'd rather just continue to play the chart. What do we have here on Link? Yeah, I think I drew something out on another one of these. Let's go here. I might have deleted all the scribbles, but I made some plans for the Marines. I deleted all the scribbles. That sucks. Okay. Oh, well. But, they were wondering, is this going to be a higher low into a higher high? And I basically said that everything on Link comes down to this supply. Literally everything. This informs all the decisions. If we get a move into here, as so, and a rejection, that's a short trigger down to next liquidity. If you spend too much time trading into this area, like if we get a rejection, but that rejection just trades right back into it, then I start entertaining the idea of the upside, because an order block like this, supply like this, should not have price just sitting in it. You don't want price just sitting in an order block like this. You want swift rejections of order blocks. So if it starts just trading into this and meandering into this, I start really entertaining the idea that we're gonna make higher highs on Link. And if you do make higher highs on Link, I mean, I'm bullish then. At that point, I'm bullish, because why? Link cannot spend any time above $8. It cannot. But if this makes a higher low and starts trading above 8, I'm going to entertain the fact that, well, why did we get up here again? Especially with all that supply put in. And it's looking kind of nice. Like, we can't deny that, this is starting to look like a very clear demand bottom being put in multiple days, like a week, right? And if you start breaking into this upside, I think you're going to clear all this up. I think you're going all the way to $10. That's really the line in the sand. And this is really apparent on the monthly chart. Like, this is a different structure on the monthly. Like, we cannot deny. Right? You cannot deny that this is different looking compared to the last few times. And in hindsight, this is going to be probably pretty obvious. So that's one of the things I'm looking at on the low time frame. I'm allowing the high time frame to form my low time frame bias, but that's really how I'm looking at this. Like, this needs to reject, guys. If you want to see this, if you want to see Link go to 0 from here, like, you need to sweep, come back down, and start drifting. Have a market structure break on low time frame and start drifting down. Then this looks like a whole bunch of fuck ton supply put in, and you start drifting to the downside. If you just start accepting into here, dude, I think it's gonna run. And I think it's gonna be very surprising, because it's gonna be funny also, because I put out that tweet that every time Link goes to $8, Bitcoin nukes, right? So if this time is different, man, a lot of people are gonna be very confused, like, on a lot of stuff. And it'll be fun to trade Link to the upside. Always love hearing your thoughts, Doc. You're fascinating to you. Cheers, and see you in the clinic. Yeah, man. Take care. And thanks for the kind words as always, Zed. Appreciate you, buddy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana are my 3 main focus. Thinking about ARB, Render, INJ, and STX. STX, I'm on the fence. STX is a good beta play on Bitcoin. I don't really know what the fundamentals are for that one. Oh, why did I click Bitcoin?
All right.
You guys still there? Can you guys still hear me? My bad. I'm surprised 21 of you guys still stuck around. My bad. My entire like computer like completely rugged. Like my mouse stopped working. I wasn't able to like control anything with my keyboard. All I could control was TradingView. So I couldn't reset anything. All right. Let's get TradingView back open. Boom, there we go. Present. All right, we're back. That's like unbelievable what just happened there. Let's go here. Move you guys over there. All right, perfect. We're back. Thank you guys for sticking around. That was actually hilarious. I was like panicking there for a second. I was like, what do I do? Did you guys see? You probably saw the message that I wrote using like the ticker symbol search. Hella funny. All right, we're back. What were we talking about? We were talking about Maker, I think. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Agreed with the idea that it's okay to miss out on an initial move, just getting when conviction is higher than you on the right side and size big up and catch play. Yeah, exactly. I make the most amount of money in trades playing into established trends, because it's very easy to understand where you're wrong playing into a trend, right? Versus trying to capitalize on a top and a bottom. There's two ways to play markets pretty much. Like the market is always going to be some form of range bound. This is very time frame biased, and I actually have a video that I'm planning to do on differences between a trending market and a range bound market. But even in a super high time frame, right? Let's say this is a daily chart. It could be range bound, but in this you get a trending market, right? And you have two ways to play this, right? Even if you're on if let's say this is an hourly chart or 5-minute chart or whatever, you can fade extremities, right? That could be one play, or you could play into the trend. And I find the hit rate of playing into the trend to be a lot higher than playing extremities, because what can happen for a lot of people that like trade SFPs is you could get a run of the high, right? And you can think that that's it, right? And you won't take profits because the next POI is maybe mid-range or maybe another like low that's right here, and it'll just run back on you. And either you close early and take, you're like, okay, this is not what I want to see. And you just take a 1-hour trade or like a very small trade, and then it runs that high again and then comes back down. And then you zoom out and you go, well, why am I doing this? It's been in an uptrend forever. You're just hyper focused on some low time frame trend. So I, just repeated experience of taking multiple trades. I started like everyone else with price action, fading extremities, being a mean reversion trader, playing SFPs, playing liquidity. I think that's where we all get started because that's the easiest to understand as a trader. But you generally make a lot more money in markets, in my opinion, playing a trending market versus playing the extremities of range. So yeah, I'm always fine missing the initial move and then sizing into the next one once I understand, where my invalidation is along a trend. And that's another thing that I say a lot is that I trade based on invalidations more than I trade based on hard stops. Do you check the Bitcoin charts while trading alts? Not always. Very, 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 very rarely do I care about alt BTC charts because here I can open up something like this, like a spaghetti chart, right? This will tell you everything you need to know about alts, like which ones are strong, which ones are weak, which ones are outperforming Bitcoin, which ones are underperforming Bitcoin. So you don't really need, why do you need alt BTC charts to tell you that? This is like intraday, and then you could just use your eyes, man. You could literally just use your eyes. Here's an example. This is a coin you guys have seen me trade all year, right? And I've been bullish on this all year. This is the CAS BTC chart. right? Or no, excuse me, this is the Cath USDT chart. My God, why was that so hard to say? And then here's the CAS BTC chart. Well, we gotta do it like this. I mean, do you see much difference? Right? What edge or what alpha am I getting from this chart? That's just the way I see it. I know there's times where it's useful, like on Matic, it's been useful in the past. What am I doing like that? Matic. Right, it's been useful on certain coins, understanding, you know, where risk is on Matic versus Bitcoin. There are use cases for it, but generally speaking, no, I don't use alt BTC charts. My God, why can't I speak now? The cat needs treats. Yeah, man, it wasn't the cat's fault, but yeah. We'll give the cat treats anyways, man. It is a black cat, so maybe bad luck. What else can we go over? We'll wrap this stream up in like 20 minutes, guys. We've been going for a while. I did Maker. I think the last coin that I wanted to talk about was Rune. We'll do AVAX as well. Yeah, I mean, how clean of a range is this on Rune, right? Any lower high here, I want to short into. These are always cleaner. I mean, this is a break in structure. This is a loss of trend. There's a couple of people in the clinic that are saying, hey, isn't this support? Why wouldn't I take this? Why wouldn't I take this long? And this is something else that I said earlier in the stream, guys, is like, you know, if you have a trending market, you don't want the last support to be touched. You kind of want to see it front run and make, you know, another move here, right? The minute it retreats back to this last support should be a clue for you guys to understand that something has changed. Because if there's still that demand, you're still going to find buyers to make another higher low, right? And if you do move all the way back to last support, if you do get the move back into here, it should just be a wick. Like, it should just be a quick tap and reversal, right? That's how you should see those moves. Once you get a reversal that looks all the way like this is still bullish market structure. This isn't broken daily market structure, but this is your first clue that bearishness has, you know, if you couldn't tell by this, if you couldn't tell by the complacency shoulder, if you couldn't tell by the lower high, if you couldn't tell by the distribution, if you couldn't tell by, deviation over range high, then the next clue or a clue could be that we retreated all the way back down to support instead of making another higher low. So my plans on Render, I tweeted last week, and I haven't gotten a trigger for this, but is to short a lower high. I want some kind of move like this to occur, something like that for me to get on board a short. And you know, the way that it's trading right now, it might round out, and it might not give you the perfect one. It may just be like a local run of highs. It may be just, you know, very anemic, very small move like this, but that's the move that I'm looking forward to shorting into, back into the origin that created this move. And the origin that created this move is, let's clean on the 12 hour, we'll just use that for example, is from here, right? So I want to short Rune down to 150, and however this forms, I want to get involved in. So those are just ideas on high time frame, and these ones, you know, that form really cleanly on high time frame give me a lot of conviction, and I play these, you know, with more size than other trades, right? Because it's easier to tell where you're wrong. Here is your massive point of breakdown, right? And it might even be on the 12 hour this fat, right? That seems ridiculous to some people, having an order block that large, but that's really what it is. That's your point of breakdown. That's your 12 hour point of breakdown. There's probably a smaller one on the 4 hour that you could use, right? You could use this one, but anything that comes up into this region back towards range highs is going to be the lower high that I short. I hope that's clear. There's no really triggers to talk about. It's the same triggers as, you know, all other coins and stuff. The Capita board kept me mesmerized. Yeah, I'm glad you like the background. Actually, that's my setup. That's my desk. I sent it to an artist on Fiverr last year when I needed a Twitter banner. and she sent me that picture. She created that artwork for me. Very, very talented artist. Yeah. Have you charted World already? I haven't, but we talked about this last week on the stream. I told you guys that I was bearish. I told you guys that it was, this is the same plans. It played out. This is what we talked about last week. And I talked about, again, origin of impulse of this move. This is the distribution. This comes down, right? And here's another one of the highs. I debated that this formed yesterday or Friday, right? And I debated taking this trade. I hesitated because of how much fuckery we've seen on Wild, right? We've seen so much like wick-wack fuckery on Wild that I was like, you know what? Probably don't. I'm not going to feel comfortable sleeping with this position open. I've been, one of the things that I'm prioritizing the last month and a half, 2 months is really quality of sleep. And I don't really like taking too many overnight positions. In fact, if I can avoid it at all costs, I will. And this appeared like in the evening or something, right? Something like that. I got the trigger for this on lower time frames way in the evening. But yeah, those are the thoughts on Wild. I haven't traded this. This has been kind of where my a lot of people are good at analyzing coins and marking out trades and marking out setups and marking out charts and not trading it that well. That is me on WorldCoin. That's me, because I've been very accurate on these moves, but I have not traded this well at all. And in hindsight, it all looks so clean, right? It always does. That's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of price action, is that in hindsight, it's always going to look very clean, right? And I could have taken this trade on Friday. I used to freeze trying to trade a strong trending market in 2021. Been getting at it much better lately. You've been a good part of the learning curve, Doc. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you're improving, Shiva. What do you see as an invalidation of the 1 hour or 4 hour trend? Is it a close below? Is it too close below? It's a break in market structure followed by a strong candle body close below the trend. Those are my invalidations. You don't want to see a break in market structure, and you're also looking for crowding over the highs, right? If something is trading its EMA like this, right, and it starts, giving weaker bounces, starting looking more distributive, right? And then you have a candle close below this, that's an invalidation. If you're trying to buy into support and say, here's an SR level, we're trading into it, the 4 hours carrying us, we're doing something like this, we blast past it, right? We blast well past it. Now the 4 hour trend comes with it, and I'm trying to position here. You're saying, what's your invalidation? It's going to be basically a loss of both these things. You shouldn't get a perfect retest of the SR, and if you do, it should be little time spent there. That should be a lot of demand and holding the 4 hour trend. And if you start closing candle bodies below this kind of stuff, that's your invalidation. Same thing on 1 hour, same thing on 4 hour. It's just very simple market structure combined with SRs, right? Wicks below, no big deal. There's even a little discretion involved, like here is render, right? If I pull up the 4 hour trend, right, these could look very nerve-wracking, right? This is your perfect SR tap right here at 162. I didn't trade any of this, right? Because I explained at the top of the stream, this was my indecision point on render. I didn't know if we're going to blow past 172 or that was going to be the top and we're going to come down. I was going to allow the market to make a decision. But in hindsight, if you're hindsight trading this can look very nerve-wracking, but you are holding market structure, you are holding the SR, and you are holding the trend. So this can't be an invalidation. Invalidation is closes below. Makes sense. That's a really cool background. Thanks, Hologram. During execution, during execution, what do you do when price comes to your level? Do you wait for a reaction, or do you just bid sell based on your analysis plan, further confirmations, etc.? During execution, what do you do when price comes to your level? Okay, we'll give you the example of the trade this morning. It's very easy to talk about trades that I took versus hypotheticals. This is a key area of interest for me. I don't need the trend for this to explain this. This SR is a very key area of interest for me on INJ, based on an SR, based on VWAPs, right? weekly, monthly, quarterly VWAP. I know it's the start of all three of those things, but right there, flipping them, right? So I wanted to see price action here. I got the trigger not only on INJ itself, I got the trigger on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin had a 1 hour fair value gap into this key area of interest. Why? This is bullish market structure. This is the last area before Bitcoin lost that structure, right? This is that kind of that point of breakdown area, right? Held as a bearish order block, reclaimed. When it came back into this area, here's your 1 hour fair value gap. There's your point of interest. I got the trigger. You guys can see the alerts here, right? I had alerts on both of these. They went off. When they went off, my INJ alerts went off. I looked at INJ. I got the sweep into that area. That's my trigger to go long. So there's always a trigger at a point of interest. You can never know that something is going to hold, right, without a trigger. And this was part of the thing of me being lazy early on when coming back, is I was getting really lazy around these entries because I was hyper confident because I've been doing so well. And honestly, guys, like, winning teaches you nothing. Losing teaches you everything. Winning honestly creates bad habits. Like, bull markets create bad traders because bull markets reward bad behavior. This year in Bitcoin, we've had a very fortunate market. We've had good altcoin trades. We have had good everything. And that creates bad habits. That creates this mindset that I just continually bid randomly, right? But you should always be disciplined and focus on execution, and execution should come from lower time frames. That's one thing I shared. Another thing that I shared was the Solana one earlier this week, right? Here's 4 hour demand, key SR at 22, area of interest, scoping down to the 1 hour. I see a 1 hour breaker, right? Into this breaker, I can just blindly bid into the breaker, right? Or I can come down to lower time frames, which I did, look in the lower time frame and see in this 1 hour breaker, there's 15-minute demand. In the 15-minute demand, I got a tag, and then I got a run of the low. So you have so much confluence. You had that high time frame level, you have a 1 hour breaker, you've got 15-minute demand inside of it, you've got liquidity run, boom, that's your trigger, right? So try not to be lazy with triggers. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, oh, there's a 1 hour breaker, let me just, enter here, right? But you don't even have confirmation that the breaker is going to work. It could just trade right through it, right? So be disciplined, be diligent with your trades. Don't be lazy. That's just a lesson there. Don't be lazy. The longer we stay above 25.3, the more I see that area is our new low. Hate to be a bear this deep. Yeah, man. We haven't talked about high time frame Bitcoin at all. Well, I did a little bit on the weekly. And there's a lot of things that can happen here, right? I mean, this could literally just be the top right now. This could literally just be the top. We did just run liquidity 2 weeks in a row. We did SFP the weekly last week, and then we SFP'd again, similar to how we did this. Here's your high. Here's all these SFPs of weeklies into supply, right? So we're kind of doing the exact same thing right now. In hindsight, this will look really obvious if we come down here, right? So we can obviously do that. The game theory part of me says, why are we drifting up? Is because bears did not do their job. Bears did not do their job right here. They should have broken this down. We should already be trading down here. And when they didn't get that follow through, right, and then everyone gets bearish, the only thing to do is bring the market up, right? It's to bring the market up, get people off sides again, and then you can nuke it lower. So that's just a possibility that I'm seeing. Of course, we can go up. Of course, we can go back to 30K. If we go higher, if we make new yearly highs in 2023, I will not have seen it coming whatsoever. I was on the right side for all of these moves. Literally all of this. At here, I was long. At here, I took profits and went flat. Here, I bought spot again. Here, I distributed again. Here, I went long. Here, I sold and played the risk curve. In this moment here, if Bitcoin is going to make a higher high out of this region, I will not have seen it coming, and I will not have been as allocated as I should have been as far as like perps go and stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a case to be made that, 25K, like, we have a lot of people drawing this out here, and they're not wrong. Like, we have a lot of people just looking at it like this and going, dude, you're just, this was a prior area, This could just be support, and I could be overthinking a lot of things. But as I like to say, and I've said many times in this stream, we want to continue making higher highs and not give everyone the ability to position in the same area. What happened here? You had to chase. You had to chase. Here, you're getting that same tag of previous support. You didn't even make a higher high. You just SFP'd the high into supply, right? You couldn't get any follow through on the strongest, most bullish news of the year. You broke down. When you broke down, you went to the last support, which I already told you is a trigger for being, is a clue to bearishness. And even if we come into here, this just could be our lower high, right? Something to keep in mind. A lot of people are starting to get comfortable, very, very comfortable lately that, the absolute bottom is in and we're just going to go up only from here. I just don't even see a reason why Bitcoin should go up only. I think this year is extremely bearish, extremely bearish. And I don't see anything in the market other than time that can repair that. I will change my tune is if we're just still trading in here, like into next year, right? Then I'll change my tune. Then I'll say, okay, you know what? The market had plenty of time. And even then I would expect something like this to occur. Even then I would expect something like that to occur, like a big shakeout below. Market has told you for like 6 months in a row, it doesn't want to be up here. So I don't know why that would change. Sure, we can revisit this, but I don't know. Those are just kind of my general thoughts. And also the way that I'm treating the market, the way that my game plan is in Q4 is to be trading dominant and look for spot opportunities when they present themselves, but to be trading dominant, that's the key word here. Be very flexible in my ideas. Do not get caught in any one bias up or down, because the market is no longer trending. I see this as a trending market. I don't see this as a trending market. I see this as now a range-bound market. I see this as a loss of trend, right? And if I pull up something very simple, right, the daily 100, daily 200, this was trending upwards. The trends were up, right? And we were holding them as support. The trends have now flattened and now we're just trading around them, right? So different strategies, different techniques, different ways to view these things. I want to take it. I want to take it one day at a time. Like the way that I played, I didn't take these trades, but the ideas were, in this region. This trigger occurred at like 2 a.m. my time. 4 a.m. Yeah, 4 a.m. my time. So I wasn't able to get into this, but I was looking at the same thing of like, this is broken structure. If we get back into this zone, this will be an area to look for shorts, and you got to puke, right? And the other side, above this, 1 hour tag, and this is where I took the long on INJ. So, you want to use a trader's mentality in Q4, in my opinion. Any other question, guys? We can wrap up the stream here. I think I've covered a lot of stuff. I think this is a really good stream. I had fun. Sorry for the little hiccup in between. We can wrap it up here, but if there's any final questions, go ahead and shoot those and we'll get them out of the way. But thank you guys for tuning in on a Sunday and spending your time with me. There's still 16 of you guys here. I know that's, for some people that's not a lot. For me, that's still pretty cool. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Sunday, and we're going to do this every week. As long as I'm available on the weekends, I'm going to continue streaming on the weekends. I have a wedding to go to at the end of the month, so maybe that's the only time that I won't be able to do it. But yeah, every other weekend, I'm going to probably keep hopping on YouTube, sharing thoughts, ask me anything, talk charts, we'll talk trades, we'll go over the trades that I took in the past week. Thoughts on that kind of stuff. I didn't cover AVAX, but that's okay. It's pretty straightforward, guys. There's your gap fill, right? You flip this, you flip SR, you have local trends carrying you, and you have a narrative for tech, right? There's your trigger to go long. There's your take profit up here. I didn't catch the whole move. I'm not going to LARP and say I caught the whole move, but I caught plenty of these and gave one back recently. I took this trade last night. And I gave one. I get more. I gave 2R back. I took 2R on here. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining me. And I will see you guys next week. Take care.